How's it going, guys? It's KDR here, and today I have a Madden 16 gameplay for you, and it is indeed a simulation of Super Bowl 50. Yes, I did the Broncos versus Panthers simulation on my Xbox because I did it before the Super Bowl. Like, this was previously recorded. This was recorded like about maybe 5 hours before the Super Bowl on Sunday, the actual Super Bowl. I just didn't get to uploading it before the Super Bowl. I really wanted to, but I didn't get around to it because by the time I got home and wanted to start editing the video and commentating over it, the Super Bowl was about to start in like an hour, so I did not have enough time for it, sadly. But I really wish I would have posted this before the Super Bowl yesterday because honestly, like, I am not lying to you guys at all. My Madden 16 simulation predicted a perfect game for Super Bowl 50. By that, I mean my simulation ended up with the final score of the Broncos winning 24-10 over the Carolina Panthers. It was kind of crazy, honestly, when it happened, and after the Super Bowl, I realized that my Madden 16 simulation had predicted a perfect score of the game for Super Bowl 50. But on another note, you can see that I totally skipped past the whole first quarter because no one scored. It was pretty much just 3 and out after 3 and out. There was no scoring whatsoever, and I did not want to sit here and bore you guys to death. But so the game obviously did not start off the same way as Super Bowl 50 did. You know that there was some scoring, at least in the first quarter. I mean, it's not like my game is going to predict an exact game of Super Bowl 50. I am just shocked that my game actually predicted the same score because it was just funny. I noticed at like halftime, I was like, wow, this could actually end up being my same score. And then as the game kept progressing, and then when the Broncos got that final touchdown and went for 2 to make it the exact same score, I just found that very funny. And it was actually pretty cool in my opinion if you think about it. But right after the Panthers score on that field goal, the Denver went 3 and out, and the Panthers get the ball back, and they are driving down the field currently. But then Cam Newton fumbles the ball on a scramble out of the pocket as he's trying to run for more yards. So that gives Denver the ball right back. And on this drive, they do end up getting a field goal. So that really helped them out a lot in this simulation because it put points on the board for them before the halftime mark, and it made this a tie ball game going into the half. So Peyton Manning right here, this was probably the play of the drive, obviously. I mean, it put him in field goal range. It was a perfect throw right to the corner. But as I was saying earlier about like the first quarter, the first half of this Super Bowl simulation was nothing like the first half of Super Bowl 50. So coming out of this at halftime, I was just thinking there's no way this simulation will be even close, remotely close to what the actual score will be at halftime of Super Bowl 50. Now I kind of want to get on the subject of the actual Super Bowl 50 and kind of talk about that. I mean, it was nice to see Peyton Manning win. I mean, for all we know, that could be his last game in the NFL, and to go out on a Super Bowl victory, that is pretty cool for him. I mean, I really didn't care who won. I'm not a specific fan on either one of the teams. Panthers, I did enjoy somewhat, I mean, but I'm not saying that I love them or anything. I mean, yeah, they are a good team, and they're fun to watch, but I had no preference to who won this game. But it was nice to see the Broncos win. They pretty much took control most of the game. Cam Newton was actually getting hit a lot in that game, a lot more than any other game this whole season, that's for sure. And it seemed like the Broncos defense was kind of just manhandling the Panthers offense that entire game, and there's nothing they could have done. But at some points, the Panthers did have you questioning it, like, okay, they might be getting back into this soon. You don't really know. But then the Broncos kind of took it into their own hands late in the fourth quarter and finished off the game. And finally, in my simulation, a first touchdown is reached. The Broncos strike on the board, making it 10-3 midway through the third quarter. But yeah, still focusing on the Super Bowl, like, I don't really want to say that it was an upset that the Broncos won. It's just that with the Panthers just seeing how good they've been doing the entire regular season and the postseason just rolling by every team they played. Not really roll by the Seahawks. I mean, they started off the game like insane, but then the Seahawks came back. And then the Cardinals, that was a complete joke of a game. And then coming into this game, it seemed like most of the country I would say, was on the side of picking the Panthers. But I don't know. The Broncos just came out. They played a great game. But the Panthers also just didn't seem like themselves tonight. They did not seem like the same team that went 15-1 and just blew out their 2 playoff games. They did not seem like that at all. And the Broncos took advantage of it. They really did. And they played one great game last night. So in the simulation now, we are getting down to the end of the third quarter. And the score is still 10-3. The Broncos are up. But the Panthers are in striking position. They are now down to the 4-yard line. With about 15 seconds left in the third quarter, they do strike, getting a touchdown on the run. And that is going to make it a 10-10 ball game. And at this point, I really didn't know what to think. I did not know who was going to come out on top of my simulation. But to be honest, I'm not going to lie. Before my simulation and before the actual Super Bowl, I thought that the Panthers were going to end up winning and defeating the Broncos. I mean, don't get me wrong, the Broncos are a good team and all, but I just thought with how the Panthers have been rolling lately that they would just take it to the Broncos. And if you guys just saw recently, there was an injury timeout on the top, and it was Peyton Manning who actually got injured for a short amount of time, and Brock Osweiler came into the game at quarterback. I'm not even sure if he threw the ball. Yes, he did throw the ball a couple of times, but I mean, he only was in there for about 5 or 6 plays, so he didn't get very many opportunities. And right there, he actually threw a dot to Owen Daniels, and actually Owen Daniels had a pretty good game in this too. Right now, he has 6 receptions for 72 yards. So he had a pretty good game as I watched this, and this game actually wasn't that boring to watch. Like, I'm not going to lie, it was a pretty fun game to watch just to get a taste of what I would see later in the night watching the actual Super Bowl. It was interesting to watch and see how the game played, especially in this view. It made it seem like you were almost watching the Super Bowl. And right here, the Broncos strike again, making it 17-10 and taking the lead in the fourth quarter, which was huge. With only 8 minutes left, the Panthers needed to do something on offense. But they did not do a thing as the Broncos held the Panthers offense to another 3 and out. And when the Broncos got the ball back on offense, they did not hold back whatsoever on that play was huge. It got them into field goal range. So no matter what, as long as they did not turn the ball over, it would be a 2-score game. And right there on 3rd and 7, that was a huge conversion. Now they're almost in the red zone. The clock is ticking, already down to 3:40 left. And right here, I do apologize. I was not in the room when this happened. And the screen went dark because it was just inactive on my Xbox. And right there, the Broncos strike with another touchdown to Demaryius Thomas to make this game a 24-10 game. With what little hope they had, the Panthers needed to do something on offense. But just on their second play of the drive, they throw an interception to Aqib Talib and the Denver Broncos. And that right there put a dagger on this Super Bowl 50 simulation. And just to be clear for one more time, yes, I did do this game before the Super Bowl on Sunday. I swear, you guys, even if I didn't, it still doesn't really matter because I still predicted I didn't really predict it, but I still had a perfect Super Bowl score with my simulation on Madden 16. And I did do it before the game, which it makes it even better for myself. If you guys don't want to believe me, that's fine, but I know what happened. And it was pretty cool in the end when this happened. And I just wanted to show you guys because it just makes it that much better for all my fans to see it. But that is going to about wrap up the video. If you guys did enjoy, please make sure to smash that like button and subscribe if you're new. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time. We got to get this lead back no matter what it takes. Oh, Kemba, I'm wide open. I'm going to hit it. Why not? And that's a 3. We have tied up the ball game here with 6 minutes left.